Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the review. This time is the Mezco 112 Collective, Thor Ragnarok Thor. So, let's get started. First and foremost, Happy New Year's to everybody. I'm pretty sure you'll be seeing this after New Year's, but I did this one before New Year's, but I'm going to upload it after. Take time to photos and all that jazz. Hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah. So, with the Hulk fell flat, Thor actually picks up the pace and makes it very enjoyable to enjoy at least one of the Thor Ragnarok phases out of three that we're getting. I think that Thor is actually a great piece. You actually get the bang for your buck in terms of accessories. You actually still get very good articulation, and the only issue you have is the armor over the ab crunch, which allows you to be hinders. But again, we're just gonna get into that. Just gonna jump right in. Let's talk about the look. Now, I know some people are saying the head sculpt is soft, but at this angle, I think it photographs really well, and you can see that it captures his likeness very well. Very, very well. It even has a little haircut on the side from where Stan Lee buzzed them, so I thought that was pretty cool. If you don't feel like the sculpt is there, you think it's a little too soft, I'm pretty sure you can find a repainted that will add on the details that are there. But I can honestly say and believe that the sculpt is really there. Now, I'm going to get a little light on it. And as you can see here, still looks very Chris Hemsworth to me. But again, if you disagree, that's totally fine too. Anyway, let's jump into the articulation. The head articulation is actually really nice because the first time we get a head that's attached to a neck that moves, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. So you can see the head can go up. It can rotate from the neck up. Originally, I thought it was all one piece, but it's not. It can look, but it actually comes off very easy. It rotates side to side. You can actually rotate it 360 degrees around. And I'm going to take it off again so I can show you. Again, I thought this was really cool because with the Joker pieces and with Ash from Evil Dead, we actually got one piece necks. So these ones are two pieces, but actually function as one together. And I think this is a great step forward for the pieces, especially stuff like Joker, and if they do even more stuff that requires this sort of level of technology. So I really like that. As far as arm articulation goes, the arm actually floats on a small butterfly joint that actually allows you a little bit of wiggle room. Let's change that focus. It allows you a little bit of extra wiggle room going left and right. So that is actually really nice. It actually rotates 360 degrees very well. It rotates this far up. It's not hindered by any clothing going on this way, so you can actually rotate all the way up too. The armor actually has a nice plating. It's thick, so it protects Thor actually. The armor is double jointed as well. It has a bicep swivel. Rotates all the way up. And it has a nice ball joint that allows full articulation going up and down and rotating around, which is really dope, especially when you want to hold weapons or do whatever it is you're going to do. The cape has no wire. It's probably the only drawback so far. I really would have liked this to be wired, but again, flowy capes, not flowy capes, is something I could have somebody change. It's not a big deal to me, but it's still very nice to see it. Nice thin fabric of his own worn down cape. It's attached here to the side as well. And we have the nice belt, the comb over belt, which is actually not a single, it's a single piece that attaches here over at the top here. And you want to be careful with that, not to rip it off unless you know how to stitch it or glue it back on with fabric glue. And underneath is a black, long, full body suit, which is pretty dope. I'm not going to risk another one because actually it broke one taking it apart. But it's actually a nice, long, full body suit, which is really cool. Over here, I want to talk about the fact that we actually get the armor plating here for the shoulder part from when he fights Hulk. And this is actually removable as well. You're going to have to cut it or pull it off. It's going to hurt. But you can actually, if you want, you can actually wiggle it down. But I wouldn't suggest that. It will break off. But this actually hinders the articulation just a little bit on the left arm, but not too much, but just enough so that you can't get rotated all the way up. Next up, there is ab crunch. It's obviously under here, but this actually protects him to the point that he has no ab crunch here. You can actually only put it a little bit forward. So as you can see here, it'll rotate just a tight bit forward, but there is ab crunch under there. Now, as far as legs go, they are standard Mezco legs like the Punisher body. Goes this far up. There is swivel here. It's double jointed. This one is all one piece attached to it. And there is a nice little ankle pivot there. This is something that they've actually been getting better at least with these sort of bodies. I know as they experiment with new bodies, it's mix and match. It takes its toll. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But this one, it actually really works for Thor, and I really like it. I like his size, I like his feel, I like his weight. It actually feel like he's ready and gladiator armored up, and I like the look, I like the feel. It's definitely an all plus for me, especially after having Hulk and it being such a letdown. Now we're going to get into the accessories. First thing I want to talk about are the sheathed swords. These you can attach on his back by lifting up the belt here. Well, the strap, I should say. There's going to be a little opening right here on the backhand side. What you can do is you can just plug that in very easily, and it fits in. And then voila, you have swords on the back. When you're not doing that, you can actually choose to have his mace and shield. These are actually very nice. You don't get the folded up version, you just get this regular old version, but it's still pretty nice. The mace is actually really nice, has a nice little bit of tad weight here at the handle, but it's actually very hollow up top, but the weight is all here in the handle. To attach this, what I recommend you do is, you're going to take the hand for the handle, and you are going to attach it to the bar first, and then plug the rest of the arm in. I recommend that very much because it actually rotates up very easily, and this hand actually holds along the rail. So if you want to switch it up or rotate it around, because this rotates, you can. That's why the bar is there. So keep that in mind, guys. Next up, if you want to unsheath the swords, there is a unsheathed one. Oop, here it is. Sorry. There's this you can place on the back for the unsheathed swords, and then once you take them out and you get your extending blades, these are actually really nice. They're thin, they're flexible, they won't break if you drop them, and I'm a big fan of that, considering how much I push articulation and photography. So this is something I can really look forward to and get behind. So these are actually very, very nice. Next up, we're going to talk about the hands. And for the hands, you actually get these open palms for holding weapons, whether it's the swords or the mace or the shield. And you get opened palms. One here has a more grabby feel. One has a more open, extended reach feel. And what's crazy about that is I promise you in the Hulk review to see if he can hold weapons. So I'm going to test that. And I found out that you can. He'll hold it barely, but what you can do is you actually, I'm going to do it on camera to show you. You extend the grip out, and you'll have to run the risk of extending your hands. Lucky if you may have extras. But he technically, under technical terms, he can hold it. As you can see here, his hands are meant to hold it. So if you didn't think he could, the hand can hold it. Now the weight is a whole different issue, but yeah, he can hold it technically. Then you have a really cool lightning effect, which actually extends and reaches over right here on the arm. There's an opening right here that allows you to place the arm right in. And then voila, you have your lightning effect. Let me take that off. This is actually pretty nice. I'm going to use this to go with my Bandai effects, use it for a bunch of other stuff. Probably use it for my Kamen Rider Stronger or for Kamen Rider kicks, because it actually looks like it'll place very well on other figures as well. But it's really nice touch to add, especially when you don't want to overdo it for the Mezco stuff, but it actually works as a tad bit. Next up, we're going to talk about the helmeted head. And I'm going to take it off the body real fast. So here we have the normal head. Here we have the helmeted head. And they're the same look, except one let's change that focus. One has the helmeted look. One is unhelmeted. Pretty much the same sculpt, except one has the helmet on it. And the paint job of going down, it even extends through the neck. Which is pretty cool, because if you want to leave it on the neck, you can just pop it off and swap it. The helmet also has the trick that he used in the movie of pulling this up or down, which is really nice. So I'm going to pop that on so you guys can see what it looks like. And I'm pretty sure the helmet was a not so black. It was a little bit lighter. But they chose to go with black on the helmet. I thought it was a more dirty, rusty silver. But I think black actually works really well here. Really, really well here. Just has a better look overall. Last but not least, we're going to talk about the lightning head. And the lightning head is really dope. And the reason why that is because it actually glows a little in the dark. So I'm going to talk about that in a second. It's a nice little light translucent blue. I'm going to cut out these lights. I'm going to cover you up. And it's not picking up very... Actually, let's try to get some light supercharged on there. See what's going on. See, there we go. There we go. And it stays pretty much really good like that. So you have to supercharge it with some light, and then you'll be all set. Next up, we're going to get into the size comparisons. Go straight through it, all in one shot. Let's move all these things out the way. Let's put let's put Thor's helmeted head on. Looking cool for the people. First and foremost, we're going to compare him to his Mezco Hulk Ragnarok counterpart. Actually look pretty good. I mean, I feel like he should be bigger, but he's pretty cool. Again, the Mezco one is the smallest out of all the Hulks. So if you want to put him up against an SHF one, he'll look really good in terms of size. If you really wanted to be a David and Goliath battle, you'll just put the select one there, and then you're pretty much straight. So let's look at it size-wise. So as you can see here, you'll be pretty straight in terms of size no matter which one you choose. So it's really up to you. Then I'm going to choose the Infinity War Hulk, and the reason why I'm going to use him, because at some point Hulk wears pants and no armor, so you want to see what he'll look like next to it. And I think they're a very good size with each other. Place them side by side so you can see for yourself. This is how he looks next to his Ragnarok counterpart of SHF, and he's actually not that much bigger. Now, in terms of articulation, I definitely prefer the SHF. In terms of look, I'm going with the Mezco. Has a nice broad Thor feel of him being super muscly, super jacked. More of an Ed McGuinness look that I like. Even though Ed McGuinness has never drawn Thor this way, I feel like he has that over muscly look. I really enjoy that. But articulation SHF look is definitely the Mezco for me. I just like the look of it so much better. Here he is next to an SH Figure Arts Kamen Rider to show you height-wise how he looks next to an import. Here he is next to another Mezco that is not of the same line. So as you can see, Batman is a tad bit taller. I don't think Batman should be taller, but you never know. I don't know these real guys' actual heights, so Ben Affleck could be taller than him in real life. Or not, I don't know. Here he is next to a Mythic Legions. And I think the Mythic Legions work really well with the Thor Ragnarok lore story. Like the whole Gladiator thing going on in the Grandmaster's world. Here he is next to a Marvel Legends Spider-Man. So I think he's scaling pretty okay. I mean, I know Thor's supposed to be super tall, but I like the height and size right now of where it is. Here we go with a synthetic human. Last but not least, let's check out a articulated Icons Ninja. Voila. So all in all, heights, they pretty much vary from line to line and figure to figure. Thor seems to be a little bit smaller than Batman, but still works pretty well with everything else because he's still taller than everybody else, so it works out. In the meantime, guys, hope you enjoyed. Hope you found it informative. Most of all, hope you do good, be good, drink your water, guys. Later.